A letter was written with your name on it. Years ago, by your soulmate. They never delivered it. Archangel Michael says, there is something hidden in the folds of time that belongs to you. It is not an object you can buy, not a gift someone can replace, but a piece of a heart that was once yours in ways you cannot imagine. Long ago, a hand trembled over a sheet of paper, pressing every emotion, every memory, every dream into words that carried your name. They wrote it in a way that would make you feel their presence even if they weren't there. They poured in confessions they never dared to say aloud, the things they rehearsed in their mind but couldn't release to the world. It was sealed not with ink alone, but with a love so deep it could have altered the course of your life had it reached you. The years have moved on, but the letter never found your hands. It was tucked away, hidden in a box, trapped between fear and fate, waiting for a moment that never came. And now, its existence is pulling itself toward you, as if the paper itself is whispering your name through the walls of time. Somewhere in the quiet hours of night, your soulmate still thinks of that letter. They remember the way their heart raced while writing it, how they almost sent it, how they stood in hesitation. That single moment of holding back has left a gap in your story, one that destiny is now ready to close. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You may feel the strange tug lately, dreams that seem too real, feelings you can't explain. It's because that energy, that written confession, is resurfacing after years of being locked away. The universe cannot allow it to remain hidden any longer. Archangel Michael says, the timing is no accident. Back then, your paths weren't aligned, your lives were moving in different rhythms, and they believed you wouldn't understand. They were wrong. The truth is you would have held that letter like treasure, and everything would have shifted. The letter contains truths about your connection that no one else knows. Not friends, not family, not anyone, they are words meant for you alone. It speaks of promises never made aloud, but felt in every heartbeat you shared from afar. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Imagine their hand brushing against the paper, writing your name slowly, almost afraid it would vanish. Every sentence carried weight, every pause in the ink came from the fear of saying too much, yet not enough. It was not just love, it was confession, gratitude, regret, and hope folded into one. The letter has survived storms, moves, changes of home, even times when it almost got thrown away. Something protected it, almost as if unseen hands refused to let it vanish. And now, it is closer to you than it has ever been. They never stopped wondering, what if? Even now, when they see your face in memory, they think about the words you never read. A part of them aches for the moment you will finally see what they wrote. Archangel Michael says, there is a reason this truth is coming to light now. Your soul is ready to receive it without doubt, without fear, without pushing it away. It is the missing piece to a love story that has been paused for too long. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Years have passed, but the emotions inside those pages are untouched. The ink hasn't faded, the meaning hasn't dulled. Every word still carries the same fire it did the night it was written. The night they wrote it, the air felt heavy with emotion. They were alone, speaking to you through pen and paper as if you were in the room. They told you things about themselves no one else knows to this day. Archangel Michael says, your soulmate is living with the quiet torment of knowing you never received their heart in written form. That letter was their attempt to give you something no one else could, a glimpse into the purest part of their soul. They could have spoken, but words fade, ink remains. And now, destiny is moving to place it in your hands at last. The delivery might come in unexpected ways, through a person, a sudden reunion, or a moment when you stumble upon it yourself. When you do, it will feel like the world stops just to let you read. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They remember the sound of the pen scratching the page, how it echoed in the stillness. They remember sealing the envelope with trembling hands, and holding it against their chest before putting it away. It was a piece of them, given to you without you even knowing it existed. The love in that letter isn't ordinary, it's timeless. It carries the kind of devotion that survives absence, silence, and distance. It has been waiting, just as they have been waiting, for the right moment. This moment is not about changing the past. It is about understanding it, feeling it, and letting it complete a chapter that has been open too long. When you read it, you will feel as though it was written yesterday. Archangel Michael says, when this letter reaches you, hold it close. Do not rush through the words, let them sink into you, line by line, breath by breath. You will feel their heartbeat in the spaces between the sentences. Type Amen to get blessing 777. It will explain things you've wondered about without realizing you were wondering. Why they acted the way they did, why certain moments felt unfinished. It will answer questions you never thought to ask. And yet, it will also open new doors. Because in giving you this letter, they are also giving you a choice. To continue the story together, or to simply cherish the truth and walk forward. Even if you choose not to act, the letter will heal something deep inside you. It will remove the silent weight you've been carrying without knowing its source. It will bring peace, even if it also brings tears. Archangel Michael says, this is a gift of closure and connection all at once. Do not turn away from it when it comes, it will not return again in the same way. It is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The letter waits like a silent witness to years you've both lived apart. It has been hidden through moves, packed into dusty boxes, slipped into drawers that no one opens. Every time they found it while sorting through their belongings, they stopped, held it, and put it away again, unable to part with it, unable to send it. They feared your reaction. Not because they doubted your heart, but because they doubted their own courage. They told themselves there would be a better moment, but life has a way of swallowing those moments whole. Archangel Michael says, even the paper has absorbed their essence. When you finally hold it, you will feel their warmth lingering in the fibers. You will sense their breath in every fold, as though the letter itself is alive with the energy they left behind. Type Amen to get blessing 999. There is an unspoken magic about a love that survives silence. This letter is not just words, it's a time capsule from the exact moment they loved you with the purest intensity. It carries the smell of that night, the sound of rain that might have been tapping against their window, the taste of the emotions they couldn't swallow. In some ways, this letter was their salvation. It gave them a way to speak to you without being in front of you. They could confess without interruption, without fear of seeing doubt in your eyes. They kept it as proof to themselves that the love was real. In the hardest years of their life, they reread their own words to remember who you were to them. It kept them from forgetting the truth. Archangel Michael says, you will soon understand that you were never forgotten. You lived in the ink, in the sentences, in the pauses between thoughts. Even when life pulled you apart, they were tethered to you through this one piece of writing. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The moment you read it, you will be transported. It will feel as if you are there with them, years ago, in the small space where they wrote it. You will see the flicker of the lamp, hear the faint sighs, sense the way they hesitated before each confession. You will find out things about your own story you never knew. Moments they noticed you, feelings they never admitted, dreams they built for a future that never arrived. It is the truth, stripped bare of pride or fear. And when the last sentence arrives, you will understand why it never reached you back then. They were protecting you, from circumstances, from heartbreak, from forces neither of you could control. They believed it was the right choice, though they have questioned it every day since. Archangel Michael says, fate has decided differently now. The letter has been waiting for its moment, and that moment is being drawn into your life. The threads of destiny are pulling it toward you like a tide that cannot be stopped. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They have touched that envelope more times than they can count. Each time, their fingers lingered over your name as if it might burn them. They whispered words into the air, your name, their longing, their regrets, before tucking it away again. There were nights when they almost sent it. They even walked toward the post office, letter in hand, but turned back at the last moment. Something inside them froze, telling them it wasn't time. Archangel Michael says, those pauses were not just fear, they were divine delays. The universe was aligning this truth for a moment when it would heal, not wound. And that moment is now approaching, whether they are ready or not. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The years have changed you both. Your faces hold new lines, your hearts carry new stories, but the core of what you meant to each other remains untouched. That is why the words inside the letter will still pierce through the distance and the time. They wrote about the first moment they realized they loved you. Not the first time they saw you, but the moment they knew. It was simple, a glance, a smile, something so ordinary that it became unforgettable. They admitted in those pages the things they could never bring themselves to say in person. The way you haunted their thoughts. The way they imagined your life together, down to the smallest details. Archangel Michael says, this letter is not only a confession, it is a mirror. When you read it, you will see yourself through their eyes, in a way you've never been seen before. You will understand why they have never been able to let you go entirely. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The letter is still sealed, but it hums with an invisible energy. You will know it when you see it, even before you touch it. Your spirit will recognize it instantly, as if it has been calling to you across the years. Some of the words may bring tears. Some may make you smile through the ache. Others may silence you completely, because they reveal things you never guessed. They didn't just write about love, they wrote about their own flaws. They confessed their mistakes, the moments they hurt you without meaning to. They told you the truths they believed you deserved, even if it meant you'd hate them. Archangel Michael says, this is not meant to reopen old wounds. It is meant to close them, with the golden thread of understanding and forgiveness. The letter is both an apology and a gift. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They remember the night they first picked up the pen. The room was quiet, the kind of silence that makes your heartbeat sound too loud. They stared at the blank page for what felt like forever, afraid that once the words began, they would never be able to stop. When the first sentence came, it was shaky. By the second, their hand had steadied, and the emotions began to spill faster than they could keep up. Every memory they had of you poured onto that paper as though the ink itself was made from their heart. Archangel Michael says, even the pauses in that letter hold meaning. Where their pen lifted, it was because the feelings were too strong to contain in a single breath. Every smudge, every uneven line, is part of the truth they were trying to give you. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They wrote as if you were in front of them. They could see your eyes, hear the way you would have laughed, feel the warmth of your presence. They wrote to you like someone desperate to speak before the moment slipped away forever. When the letter was finished, they held it for hours before sealing it. They traced the edges of the envelope as if it were your face. They whispered your name again before tucking it away where no one else could find it. Years have passed, yet they still know exactly where it is. Sometimes they take it out just to hold it, never opening it again, because they remember every word by heart. It has become their most guarded possession, the one thing they refuse to lose. Archangel Michael says, soon you will touch what they have touched, read what they have held closest to their soul. The energy inside that letter has been preserved like a treasure waiting for its rightful owner. And when it finally reaches you, the bond between you will reignite in ways you cannot yet see. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They have lived entire seasons with that letter hidden just a few steps away from them. In moments of loneliness, they would sit near it, not daring to open it again but comforted just knowing it was there. It became a silent witness to their years, through joy, through heartbreak, through everything in between. There were times they nearly destroyed it. Moments of frustration when they told themselves it was foolish to keep something they could never send. But every time their fingers hovered over the paper, something stronger than there will stop them. Archangel Michael says, that force was not just sentiment, it was divine preservation. The letter was meant to survive, because its delivery was always written into your destiny. No matter how much time passed, it was never truly lost to you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. In the quiet of the night, they would sometimes imagine you reading it. They pictured your expression softening at certain lines, maybe tears forming at others. They imagined your fingers tracing over their handwriting, as if feeling them through the paper. That thought was both comforting and torturing. Comforting because it allowed them to feel close to you again. Torturing because they knew it hadn't happened yet. The letter contains not only love, but the rawness of their soul at that time. It speaks of things they never admitted to anyone else, secrets they carried alone. It holds their dreams, their fears, and the reasons behind choices you never understood. Archangel Michael says, when it comes to you, your heart will recognize the truth instantly. Even if the world has changed around you, even if years have passed, the emotions inside will still be fresh. They were written for you, and for you alone. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The moment is drawing closer now, though you cannot yet see it. A chain of quiet events is unfolding, subtle shifts, small chances, that will soon place that letter in your reach. It might be through a person, a place, or a moment that feels almost accidental, but nothing about it will be an accident. Somewhere, your soulmate has been holding onto it with a strange restlessness lately. They have picked it up more often in the past weeks than in the past years combined. Something in their spirit is whispering that the time to hide it is over. Archangel Michael says, the energy of the letter has begun to awaken. What was once still is now stirring, as if the words themselves are calling for you. It is no longer content to sit in shadows, it longs for the light, and for your hands to hold it. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They have even dreamed about you recently. Dreams so vivid that they wake up with your name on their lips, with the image of your face fresh in their mind. And every time, their eyes drift toward the place where the letter has been kept. In these dreams, you are not angry. You are simply listening, smiling faintly, as though you already know the words before they are spoken. It fills them with courage, but also with the ache of what they've delayed for so long. The truth is, this letter has aged like fine wine. The longer it has waited, the more powerful it has become, not in the ink, but in the emotion it carries. It now holds not just the feelings of the past, but the weight of all the years between then and now. Archangel Michael says, when you read it, you will feel the way time folds in on itself. The past and present will blur, and you will stand inside the moment they first loved you with everything they had. It will be as if no years have passed at all. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They have started to notice signs everywhere, reminders of you that appear when they least expect it. A song from years ago plays in a store and makes them freeze. A scent in the air brings back a memory so strong they have to close their eyes. Each sign pushes them closer to the decision they have avoided for so long. The letter has become heavier in their mind, as if it is demanding to be freed. They can no longer ignore the pull, it's as though destiny itself is urging them forward. Archangel Michael says, the path of this letter is now set. It will not remain hidden much longer, because its purpose is bigger than their hesitation. The moment it touches your hands, something in both of you will shift forever. Type Amen to get blessing 777. They have begun rehearsing what they might say when they finally give it to you. Will they explain the delay, or simply let you read in silence? Will they stand there while you take in the words, or slip away so you can be alone with them? No matter how they imagine it, their heart races at the thought. They know it will be one of the most vulnerable moments of their life. And they know that once it is done, there will be no going back. The letter itself is still sealed, but in their mind, it is already open. They can see your fingers sliding across the edge, breaking the years of silence in a single motion. They can hear the soft rustle of paper as you unfold it. Archangel Michael says, your reaction will be unlike anything they've prepared for. Because love written in truth has a power no one can fully predict. And this letter was written in the deepest truth they have ever known. Type Amen to get blessing 888. One evening, they find themselves holding the letter again, but this time feels different. There is no hesitation in their grip, no urge to hide it back in the drawer. Something in them knows the waiting is over. They run their thumb over the sealed edge, remembering the night they closed it. Back then, it felt like a goodbye to feelings they could not carry aloud. Now, it feels like an opening, a doorway they are finally ready to walk through. Archangel Michael says, fate has chosen this moment with care. Every delay, every pause, every year in between has led to this exact alignment in time. The universe is about to bridge the gap that once seemed impossible to cross. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You might not expect it when it happens. Perhaps you'll be handed an envelope by someone you barely know. Perhaps it will appear in a stack of old things, left somewhere only you could find. But the moment you see your name written in that familiar hand, something inside you will jolt. Your breath will catch, your chest will tighten, and you will feel the years collapsing into one heartbeat. It will be as though the person they once were is reaching directly through time to touch you. You will run your fingers over the writing, feeling its texture, sensing their presence in every curve of the letters. You will hesitate for only a second, and then you will break the seal. The paper will unfold like a long-kept secret finally letting go. Archangel Michael says, the first line will stop you in your tracks. It will be exactly the thing your heart didn't know it had been waiting to hear. From there, every sentence will carry you deeper into the truth they once tried to protect you from. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Your eyes will scan the first few words slowly, almost afraid to move too quickly through them. It will feel like stepping into a memory you never knew existed, yet one that belongs entirely to you. The handwriting will be slightly uneven, the ink bearing tiny smudges, proof of the trembling hands that wrote it. The opening will not be grand or poetic, it will be raw. It might begin with your name, written with such care that you feel its weight. Then, without hesitation, it will spill into the truth, how they felt, what they feared, what they could never say aloud. Archangel Michael says, every line is a thread tying you back to the moment they loved you most. It will not read like a story from the past, but like something alive, breathing in the present moment with you. The paper will almost feel warm in your hands, as though their heart is still pressed against it. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They will write of the first time your eyes met theirs and how it changed everything inside them. They will admit they tried to fight it, to be logical, to remain distant, but failed every single time. They will tell you that no matter where life took them, you were always the unshakable thought in the back of their mind. There will be confessions you never expected, moments they saw you when you didn't notice, times they almost approached but turned away. They will describe in detail the small things about you they never forgot, the way you touched your hair, the sound of your laughter, the way your eyes held unspoken storms. Reading these will make your chest tighten, as though they are beside you whispering every word. Somewhere in the letter, you will feel the shift, the moment they stopped hiding from their feelings and surrendered to them completely. They will write of dreams they had for both of you, the kind you can only imagine with someone you truly love. They will tell you they never gave those dreams to anyone else. Archangel Michael says, these words will linger in you long after you finish reading. Because they are not just ink and paper, they are the living echo of a love that refused to fade, no matter how many years passed. And now, that love has found its way back to you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. As you keep reading, the letter deepens into the kind of honesty that feels almost too fragile for this world. They admit the nights they stayed awake thinking of what life would have been if they had spoken sooner. They confess that the fear of losing you entirely was what kept them silent back then. They speak about moments they watched you from a distance, memorizing you in ways you never realized. How they carried those snapshots of you into every year that followed, like pieces of light in their darkest days. You'll see their guilt in the way the sentences slow, as if even now they are choosing words carefully so as not to hurt you. Archangel Michael says, these confessions are not meant to reopen pain. They are meant to free both of you, from the heavy silence that has existed between your hearts for far too long. This letter is a bridge across time, carrying you to a place where the truth can finally breathe. Type Amen to get blessing 444. In the final paragraphs, their tone changes. It becomes softer, as though they are speaking to the version of you that exists right now, not the one from years ago. They tell you they still believe in what they felt, even after life has tried to erase it. They write of hope, not the kind tied to expectation, but the hope that you will simply understand. They want you to know that you were never forgotten, never replaced, never diminished in their heart. Even if nothing changes after you read it, they will be grateful that you finally know. They sign their name at the bottom in a way that feels deliberate, bold, and certain. It's the mark of someone who has decided that hiding is no longer an option. It's a final offering, left for you to receive however your heart chooses. Archangel Michael says, once you fold the letter closed, you will feel different. Lighter, yet full. As if something inside you has been waiting years just to exhale. Type Amen to get blessing 555.